do all the things that you want to do. Now, this class is gentle yoga and meditation, and we do about 50 minutes all told, all together. And 30 minutes we do stretching and breathing and moving around, and then about 20 minutes of meditation. And um, this is a gentle class, so we go kind of slow and we take our time. Um, you can choose different variations of poses if you want to. And also, if you've never been to a Comeback Yoga class, Comeback Yoga is we're a nonprofit, and we offer yoga and meditation classes to people who have or are serving in the military. Here on our YouTube channel, everybody's welcome. So I'm glad you're here, no matter what your background. If you're looking for an in-person class, you can find an in-person class on our website, comebackyoga.org, and you can look and see what classes are available near you. If there isn't one that's near you and you want one, you can contact our staff and see if it's a possibility that someone would be able to start up a class. We like to go where the people are. We like to bring the classes to you. So if you have a VFW that you want to bring a class to, or one of your support groups or buddies group, and you'd like to, you meet maybe at the local place, and you'd like to start up a yoga class, then contact us and see if there is a teacher near you. We'd be happy to do that, to investigate, see if it makes sense for you and for us. So let's start seated, and you can fold your legs like mine, or you can stick your legs out like this. It doesn't matter how you start. Once you are sitting, you can start to notice the length of your spine. And you notice that by a couple different things. First, plant down into your sit bones and lift your head. And pull your chin back a little bit. And observe what happens when you do that. Maybe you can discern all kinds of different things, just pulling your head back a little bit. Maybe it affects your breath, the way that your breath has a pattern. Maybe it affects the way that your back feels, or it affects the way that your stomach feels. Keep breathing steadily. Now, there's another way you can discover the length of your spine, and that's by placing your hand on different parts of your spine. So you take one hand on the back of your neck. The back of your neck, it's your neck spine curves forward towards the front of your body. So if you place your hand at the back of your neck, you might feel your neck curving forward towards the front. You might just see what happens. And then bring one hand, maybe you can reach around and feel your spine, middle spine. Or you could round a little bit and notice how your spine does that in the middle of your back. It rounds, so it curves towards your back. Naturally. I mean, it can move in all kinds of different ways, but it's we're investigating our natural curves of the spine when they're in resting, when you're sitting tall. And then take one hand around behind and feel your low back. And your low back is between your rib cage and your pelvis, and it curves forward towards your belly. You might feel that when you reach your hand back. Again, if you're in a different kind of position in your body, you might notice it differently, but those are the natural curves of your spine. Now try to keep the natural curves of your spine as you sit even taller, and breathe deep. Notice how it feels to encourage the natural curves of your spine, encourage full, deep inhalations and exhalations. Tilt your left ear toward your left shoulder. Stretch out the right side of your neck. Lift your head and tilt your right ear toward your right shoulder. Stretch out the left side of your neck. Lift your head, take your right hand across over toward your left knee and turn, rotating around your spine. And take your left hand across over toward your right knee and rotate around your spine, looking past your right shoulder. And face forward, bring your hands together in front of your chest. Point your fingers forward, straighten your arms, tuck your chin and curl your spine. Inhale to lift your rib cage and open your arms wide. It's a seated cat and cow. Exhaling to curl, this is the cat part, curling your spine. And you might notice how you're changing your spine curves and how you're increasing maybe the natural curve or encouraging a complementary position of the natural curve of your spine. Inhaling to open up and stretch across your chest. This is the cow part of cat and cow. And then curling in, touching your hands together, stretching your spine the other way. And then sit tall. Roll through your shoulders a couple times. And cross your legs underneath you. And come into a table. Table looks like hands and knees on your floor. And you can spread your fingers wide. Tuck your toes under and let your hips move back toward your heels. When your hips move back toward your heels, just letting yourself stretch back, stretching out the bottoms of your feet. And then bring your hands forward and lean forward a little bit. You can untuck your toes and stretch your hips forward, coming into a back bend kind of sensation, upward facing dog. Moving your hips back, tucking your toes under, stretching your hips back toward your heels. Reach and reach your hips back toward your heels, stretching out the bottoms of your feet too. And bring yourself through and take the back of your left hand and bring it over towards the right. Your left ear and your left shoulder might come down towards your mat. And then your right arm can stay where it is, or it can wrap around behind you, or you could reach your right arm forward and perhaps encouraging stretch. And wherever you feel like you want to, you can place your hand on a different part of your body, encouraging stretch. Your right hand comes in front of your face. Push yourself back up through table. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Tuck your toes under and let your hips move back toward your heels. And then bring your hips forward. Pour weight into your hands and lift your knees and stretch into downward facing dog. So your hands and feet are on your mat. Your hips are angling up to where the wall and the ceiling meet. And stretching out, allowing your heels to stretch down towards your mat. Soft inhales and soft exhales. Give yourself a couple rounds of breath here. And then let your knees come back down towards your mat. And we're doing thread the needle the other way. This back of your right hand comes to the floor and stretches over towards left. Your right ear, your right shoulder come down towards your mat. And then you can take your left arm, reach your left arm overhead. You could wrap it around behind you, or you can keep your left hand exactly where it is too. Breathe and soften into this rotation of your spine. And pressing your left hand in front of your face, pushing yourself back up into the table, walking your hands forward and lean forward and stretch out through the front side of your body. And pull your hips back and let your hips come all the way back. Untuck your toes and stretch your body out over the tops of your legs. Inhale to bring yourself back through table. Walk your knees forward and sit on your sit bones. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Reach down and gather up your right leg with your hands. Pull your thigh back toward your torso. Reach down with your left hand. Hold on to your right foot and cradle your leg in the pigeon position. Stretch your leg long out in front of you. Wiggle your sit bones back a little bit. Sit tall and hinge forward. Bring your hands in the direction of your feet. And then gather up your left leg. Pull your thigh toward your torso. Hold on to your left leg with your right hand and draw little circles or whatever shapes you want to make with your left knee. And stretching your leg long again. Press out softly through your heels, maybe just the back of your heels pressing down. Spread out through your toes and slide your hands down, fronts of your legs once again. Inhale to lift your torso, roll through your shoulders, up, back, and down. Roll through your feet. And cross your legs underneath you again. Put your hands down on your mat. Walk your knees back a little bit. Tuck your toes under, stretch your hips back toward your heels. Lift yourself up through table. Stretch your right leg long back behind you. Lift your right leg and draw a little circle with your heel. Bring your right knee up toward your right shoulder or your right elbow. And stretch your right leg long back behind you and draw a little circle one direction and the other direction with your leg. And one more. Pull your knee up toward your arm, shoulder, or elbow. Stretch your leg back behind you and draw a little circle with your extended leg with your heel or your toes. And both knees down. Bring yourself down onto your forearms. Walk your knees back a little bit and start to lean your hips forward. Bend your knees and bring your heels up toward your hips. We're in forearm plank. Pause here, breathe. Squeeze your glutes a little, pull up and in at your belly. Keep your hips suspended above your floor. Your gaze is steady between your two thumbs. Breathe and breathe. And release your hips down. Straighten your legs. Pull the floor towards you a little bit and lift your rib cage. We're in Sphinx pose. Press down into your forearms. Bend your knees up. Press down a little bit more. Squeeze your glutes a little and lift your hips. We're back into forearm plank. Breathe here. Squeeze your glutes a little. Move your thigh bones towards each other a little. Engage your inner thighs. Breathe and breathe and breathe. And lower your pelvis back down. Straighten your legs. Walk your hands back on either side of your chest. Tuck your toes. Push yourself onto your knees. And move your hips back toward your heels. Rock a little bit from side to side. Now we're leaning over a little bit onto your right knee and stretch your left leg long back behind you. Once you've got your leg long, pull your knee up towards your left arm, shoulder or elbow, and then stretch your leg long back behind you. And again, pull your knee up toward your shoulder or your arm, your elbow, and stretch your leg long back behind you. We'll do one more. Pull your leg up towards your arm and stretch your leg long back behind you. And put both feet, both knees down, tucking your toes under. Your hips move back toward your heels. Inhale to lift. Walk your knees towards each other. Take your right foot forward in between your hands and lift yourself into low lunge. Your right hand stays on your right knee and your left arm stretches back. Turn and look. Start to slide your right forearm onto your right leg and your left arm reaches up and over at an angle, extended side angle. Your left arm comes down. Rotate your torso so you're facing down towards your mat. Both hands down onto your mat. And bring your leg that's in front, your right leg, and stretch it back behind you. And both knees down. Roll through cat and cow a couple of times, lifting and lowering your tailbone, lifting and lowering your stomach, moving your chest to point forward, and then curl in towards center. And shifting weight onto your right knee, stepping your left foot forward in between your hands, lifting yourself into low lunge, taking your arms forward, and gliding your right arm back behind you. Look at your thumb. And hands come back down onto your mat. Glide your front leg into the back. Stretch it long. Roll through your ankle and your foot. And place both knees down. Walking your knees out a little bit. Your hips move back toward your heels, stretching out your shoulders, perhaps other parts of your body that you're noticing. And lifting yourself, tucking your toes under, walking your feet out a little bit wider towards the edges of your mat, walking your hands a little bit forward. Lean weight into your hands, and then lift your hips, lift your knees, and stretch yourself back into the downward facing dog. You can roll through your head, you can pedal your feet, you can lift and lower your heels. Start to walk your feet towards each other a little and a little and a little. And bend your knees a lot and allow your torso to come a little closer toward your thighs. And bring your shoulders over your wrists. Let your knees come back down. Cross your legs underneath you and stick your legs out in front of you. Scoot forward towards the top of your mat. Make sure you've got plenty of space behind you and roll back onto your back. Once you're on your back, you can bring your knees into your chest and draw circles, both directions. Stick your right leg up towards the ceiling. Hold on anywhere along your leg. Use both of your hands. And put your left foot on the floor for extra support. And encourage your left leg to lengthen and to come a little more overhead. So that might look like this. Your leg might be here as you lengthen and bring your leg overhead. Or if you're super stretchy, your leg might be really overhead. And it's just all about how you feel, what challenges you, what gives you stretch. So your stretch isn't going to look like mine, and mine isn't going to look like yours. That's the way it should be. So go by feel. You're stretching your leg. You're stretching backside of your body. And let your knee bend and put your foot back down onto your mat. Walk your feet out a little bit. And we'll do hip rolls, rocking your knees left and right. You can put your hands wherever on the front of your stomach or out by your sides or maybe in cactus. Point your knees up, walk your feet back towards each other, and pull your other leg into the air. Stretch it long. You can hold on to your foot, you can hold on to your leg, and encourage. Lengthen your leg and encourage your leg to come a little closer towards your torso. You start to notice that your breath is kind of hitchy or catching, then back off a little bit. Invite your breath to return to its normal, regular, deep, steady state. And then approach, stretch, and see what happens when you approach, stretch. Give yourself time. Breathe and breathe. Nice work. And lower your leg all the way back down, both feet down, walking your feet out towards the edges of your mat and rock your knees left and right. Reach down and gather up your legs with your hands. Pull your knees in toward your chest and draw those circles with your knees. Now pick up your left leg, hold on to your left leg, and curl head, neck, and shoulders up towards center line of your body. And we'll roll up. You can also push yourself up, that's fine. Roll up. Keep your left leg up. You can hold on with both of your hands. Lift and stretch for the heron pose. Nice work. And bend your knee and roll yourself back onto your back. Both knees into your chest, draw circles. This time bring your shins parallel to the wall, or parallel to the floor and the ceiling, and bring your arms out to cactus or T, and let your legs wing to the left and let your legs wing back over to the right. And just let your legs move from side to side, left and right. Try to keep 90-degree angles at your feet, your knees, and your hips. And plant your feet down onto your mat, arms long down by your sides. Pour weight into your feet, big toes and your heels especially. Squeeze your glutes a little, lift your chin a little, and lift your hips. Stretch out into bridge pose. Breathe steadily and deeply here. And lower your hips. Bring your head up. Bring your knees in. Put your head down. Put your feet down. Squeeze your glutes. And lift your hips in a bridge pose. Your hips come down. Your head comes up. Your knees come towards your head. And your head comes down. And your feet come down. Keep your left foot on the ground. Pull your right knee in toward your chest. Straighten your right leg. Curl head, neck, and shoulders up towards your center line and pull yourself up. All the way up, keeping your other leg long. You can place your hands along your leg, wherever you want. This is the heron pose. Good job. Hold on. Roll yourself back onto your back. Kick your heels up into the air. Hold on to the both of your legs. Roll yourself up to boat pose, or you can push yourself up, also fine. Your heels can be close down towards the floor. Your shins could be parallel to the floor, or your legs could be straightening. Great work. Put the soles of your feet together and bring your knees out to the sides, left and right. And then put your hands on the fronts of your shins and lean forward into forward fold. This is the bound angle pose. Inhale to lift your torso. Stick your left leg forward. Your right knee is bent. Take your left hand down, top of your left leg. Your right arm reaches out. Your right arm reaches around behind you. Your right arm reaches out. Your right arm goes overhead. Inhale to lift and switch your legs. Right leg out, left knee bent. Your right hand comes down towards your right foot. Your left arm reaches out. Your left arm comes around behind you. Your left arm reaches out. And your left arm comes overhead. And lift your torso. Put the soles of your feet back together. Holding on anywhere. You might be holding on the outsides of your knees, fronts of your shins, at your feet, and hinge forward. Inhale to lift. Stick your legs out in front of you. Hook your thumbs and start to roll yourself down. Make sure you've got plenty of space behind you when you roll down, all the way down onto your back. Stretch your arms overhead. Reach overhead. Stretch and stretch and stretch. And bend your elbows out to the sides and put the soles of your feet together. Reach down and gather up your legs. Pull your knees back towards each other. Bring your knees in toward your chest. Kick up your heels and roll up to boat pose. Boat looks like a lot of things. This is boat. This is boat. That's boat. This is boat. This is boat. So you've got lots of options. You get the idea. Your feet come down to the floor. Hinge forward into forward fold. Inhale to lift up, hook your thumbs, and roll yourself all the way back down onto your back. Again, make sure you've got plenty of space behind you. Rolling all the way down onto your back. Stretch your arms overhead, lengthen and reach, point your toes. Bend your elbows out to cactus, with the soles of your feet together with your knees winging out to the sides. Reach down and gather up your legs. Pull your knees in toward your chest. Kick your heels up, roll yourself up to boat. You can float your boat. Your legs go long out in front of you, hinge forward into forward fold. Inhale to lift and roll yourself all the way back down onto your back. Now plant your feet onto your mat and stick your right foot into the air, and it might be bent, your leg might be bent, or your leg might be straight. And your other leg plants down into your mat and lift your hips, even just a little, into bridge pose. Try to keep your hips square and you're straightening your leg, but it can be as bent as you want. It's fine. Lower your hips down. Cross your floating leg over your opposite knee and let your knee flap a little bit, and then gather your legs in, coming into the pigeon. Rock from side to side. Uncross your legs and switch. So now one leg is down, the other leg is long, pointing up towards the ceiling. Lengthen your spine. Press down into your standing leg and lift your hips. Your leg that's in the air is straightened in. Keep breathing. Notice what parts of your body are helping that don't need to be helping. Might be a couple. Great job. Lower your hips back down. Crossing your ankle over your opposite knee. You can flap your knee forward and back. And then gather up your legs. Pulling your legs toward your torso. Rock a little bit from side to side in the pigeon. Uncrossing your ankles, bringing your knees in toward your chest. Kick your heels up towards the ceiling. And roll yourself up to boat. Place your right foot down onto the floor. Reach down and gather up your left leg and bring it back with you. Keep holding your left hand to your left foot, and you can try to straighten your leg. It's straighten-ish. You can hold on with both hands. You don't have to hold on at your foot either. You can hold on, sit tall to straighten. Then place your left foot down, and we're switching. Now your right hand comes down towards your left leg. Your left arm comes behind you, and you're leaning back, and now you're stretching your other leg. And that's a kind of a rotated stretch. You can hold onto your foot if you want to. Sit tall. And then bend your knee and straighten both legs. Hinge forward. Inhale to lift. Lean back into your arms. Lift your rib cage. And let's try the other leg. Just switch around. And take your hands down the fronts of your legs and just notice, before we do anything, notice if there's a difference between your left leg and your right leg. And notice and feel and observe the difference between your two sides of your pelvis, and notice your back and your arms, noticing your whole body. And then you're reaching down and holding onto your other leg. It's your other leg's turn. So you're rocking your leg left and right, side to side. You're holding on. Same arm, same hand, same foot, and stretch. And do yourself the courtesy of not worrying about how straight your leg is. It's not about how straight your leg is. It's about this lift, this integrity in your spine, and sensation of work and stretch in your body. And bend your knee and switch hands. Now your other hand has your foot, and you can lengthen your leg, and you can turn, or you can have your back hand back behind you to keep you supported. And untwist. Stick both legs out in front of you. Roll through your feet. Cross your legs underneath you. Put your hands down on your mat. One more time, coming into table. Tucking under, lifting, and lowering your tailbone. And tucking your toes, lengthening your legs, and stretching into downward facing dog. You could be on your shins here. You could be on your forearms. Your downward facing dog doesn't have to look just like this. It could look a lot different than this. Gradually let your knees come back down towards your mat. And come to a seated position. Once you're sitting, you can arrange your legs exactly as you want to. You can put your hands on the tops of your knees. I like to have my back against the wall, but you can see I also have a chair here. You could sit in a chair. I'm going to do something with this chair in just a little bit, so you can sit however you want to. And if you're at home, there's no reason why you couldn't lie in your bed or sit on your couch, or whatever you want to do is just fine. But take your hands and put one hand on top of the other, so your bottom hand palm is facing up and your top hand palm is facing up. And once your hands are holding each other, touch your thumbs together and let your elbows soften up and hold space for your body in the cradle of your arms. And breathe deeply and steadily. And before you do anything, just notice sensations of your body, notice any observations that you're making right now. Notice if you're able to give yourself more ease in any way. And if you are, do that now and anytime you want. Always choose ease when you can in this practice. And start to sink into your body a little bit more. Start to notice your sense of touch. Notice one hand cradling the other hand. Notice hair on your skin. Notice warmth or coolness, temperature. Notice texture of your clothes. Notice all the ways that you can sense touch through your sense of touch. Then bring your awareness to your eyes. Maybe your eyes are open. You can look at things around your space. Maybe you've got some familiar things or unfamiliar things. Just observing those. Maybe seeing the familiar things with fresh eyes. Observing color and texture and shape and shade, sparkle. Observing the things that you can see. And gently turn your attention to your ears, noticing the things you can hear. Moving your attention inward to the sound of your own body, sound of your heart beating, your breath breathing. Noticing your sense of taste and smell. Moving even more inward. As you move inward, ask yourself, what is your heart's desire? What would give you the most happiness if it were a dream realized? And without working for it, without doing anything at all, just give it to yourself. You have your heart's desire. In this moment, you do. even if it's might be years away or seems like there are a lot of obstacles. Just give yourself your heart's desire without asking how, and observe how it feels in your body, in your mind, to have your heart's desire. What is it like? Notice if you have a felt sense of receiving your heart's desire somewhere in your body. Might feel like relief, or it might feel like joy, or it might feel like contentment, or any other one myriad feelings. It might be a mixture, it probably is a mixture of many different feelings, sensations. Notice where you might feel those things in your body. And start to expand that sensation, your felt sense of achieving, of realizing, of possessing, having your heart's desire. From here, I'll invite you to lay down if you want to. You can stick your legs up the wall. I'm going to show you if you have a couch kind of close to you or a chair, you can turn it. And this is a kind of softer way to do legs up the wall. You can put your feet up on your couch, on your chair. You can just do one leg. That seems more doable. You could do both legs. And you could put a pillow or something or blanket on the seat of your chair if it seems hard on the backs of your legs. Elevating your legs is something that we do for some pretty specific body reasons. And I'm sure you probably know all of them. It's a pretty common thing to know things like first aid and recovery positions, things like that. By placing your body in this particular way, and maybe you're not trying this, that's fine. This is everything I'd say is a suggestion. Placing your body in the way that you have, see if you can give yourself a little more ease, a little more comfort in your body. And once you've done that, once you've found a little more ease, a little more comfort in your body, turn your attention, your awareness to your breath once again. Feel your inhales and your exhales. And move your hands either one to your rib cage and one to your stomach, or maybe both to your rib cage, or maybe both to your stomach. Again, your hands are somewhere in this area between your ribs and your pelvis. Start to encourage your breath to come deeply into your belly. You can do that by giving yourself soft hands on the place where you want to increase your inhales and your exhales. You might have your eyes open or closed. Breathe deeply. Now, however you've placed yourself, placed your body, you can start to notice and observe different parts of your body. We're going to start with our right foot. So, on your right foot, notice each one of your toes and notice the top of your foot, the sides of your foot, the bottom of your foot, and your ankle. Notice your whole right foot, and then notice your right lower leg. Notice the sides and the top and the back. Move your awareness up toward your knee, up toward your right thigh. What's the base of your body and your right hip? Take a big, soft inhale. Expand your awareness of your right hip, your right lower leg, your right foot. Exhale softly, let your right leg get soft and heavy. Now bring your awareness down towards your left foot and let your awareness, your attention, expand across. Notice your left toes, the left top of your foot, the bottom of your whole foot, your ankle. Notice your left lower leg, sides, front, back, your knee, your thigh, the base of your body, and your hip. Take a big soft inhale. Let your whole lower body get soft and heavy. Melt a little bit. On your next inhale, bring your awareness, your attention to your belly once again, your low ribs and your hip bones and the space in between. And encourage your breath deep and soft into your stomach, into your body. And bring your awareness from your low belly up through the sides of your body, the space of your torso. Notice all the different parts of your torso. You might even go inward, bring your attention inward. Notice your internal organs and the workings of your body. You might notice things like your digestion or your heart beating. Take a big soft inhale and expand your torso and your awareness of your torso. Exhale and softly let your torso sink a little bit into your space. Draw your attention, your awareness over toward your right hand, your right fingers, your right palm, the back of your hand, your right wrist, your right forearm, your elbow, your upper arm, your shoulder, your armpit, side of your shoulder, top of your shoulder. Take a big soft inhale. Expand your awareness of your right arm and your right shoulder. Exhale and let your right arm, your right shoulder, your right hand get soft and heavy. And glide your awareness over towards your left hand. Notice your left fingers and your left back of your hand and your palm and your wrist, your forearm, your elbow. Notice your left upper arm, your left shoulder, your left armpit, whole left arm and your left shoulder. Big soft inhale. Expand your awareness a little bit. Exhale softly. Allow your left arm to get soft and heavy. Glide your awareness to the back of your neck and notice the tops of your shoulders, the sides of your neck, the front of your neck, all the way around your neck and the tops of your shoulders. Take a big soft inhale. Exhale and allow your neck and the tops of your shoulders to get soft and heavy. Gradually bring your awareness up towards your face and notice if I'm just noticing that I want to change my position of my legs, which you can do, of course, also at any time. Bringing your awareness to your face and your head now, noticing all the different attributes that you have as a human being and as an individual. Maybe you have hair, maybe you don't. Maybe you have glasses, maybe you have um, all kinds of different attributes, right, that we have on our faces, in our mouths, our eyes, our noses, our ears. Notice your particular body, your particular attributes, things that make you unique, and things that make you you. Take a soft inhale and swallow. You can move your tongue around in your mouth. Once again, recalling some of your senses, taste and smell. Breathing softly and deeply in through your nose, perhaps noticing smells. You can rock your head a little bit, left and right, however your head is placed. And acknowledge the back of your head, front of your forehead, top of your head. Acknowledging your ears, your nose, your mouth, your eyes, the expanse of your forehead. Swallow and release, softness of your throat. Take a big soft inhale, rearrange your body maybe one more time. On your inhale, squeeze up your hands, your shoulders, your neck, your face, all the things that we just paid attention to, your legs, your feet, your toes, squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and exhale and release. Do that again. Inhale and squeeze up, squeeze whatever you want to squeeze, squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and exhale and release. Start to wiggle through your fingers, wiggle through your toes. You can rock your knees left and right. And gather up one knee, gather up both knees, bringing your torso and your thighs closer together, rocking from side to side. And you can place your feet down. If you were kind of close to your furniture, or if you moved something a little bit closer toward you, make sure that is out of your way as much as possible. And you can roll over onto one side, pause there for a moment. You can push yourself back up through seated, taking your time, getting used to sitting upright again. Becoming more alert, more awake, more aware with every inhale and every exhale. Bring your hands together out in front of your rib cage and rub your hands together. Now you're fully awake, fully present. Bring your thumbs toward your sternum. Sit tall. Once again, noticing the natural curves of your spine, the way that your breath works when you're encouraging the natural curves of your spine. Noticing how it feels to sit tall. Notice if there's anything that you discovered, that you learned, that you paid attention to, with particular awareness, particular focus during class. If there is something like that, something that you'd like to pay attention to more, something you'd like to continue to work with, you can note that now. You can take a soft inhale breath through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And acknowledge your practice. Acknowledge the time that you take to take care of yourself, the time that you take to slow down and listen and pay attention to all the many, many things that make up your individual self. Namaste. Thank you so much. Thanks for practicing with me. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, if you need anything, please contact us. Contact me comebackyoga.org. You know, always type in into the chat if you have questions, if you want to let me know anything, you're always welcome to do that. Thanks so much for being here. And please come back to Comeback Yoga. Come to our live classes or come to our live stream classes or watch our videos. We really are so happy to be able to bring you classes, and we appreciate you so much. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you for being part of the community. So take care, and I'll see you next time.